Afternoon again everyone, back on the Icknield Way, hope you're keeping well. Joined by Richard again.
Hello guys.
We're doing section 3 of the Icknield Way today, and that is Streatley to Ickleford, another 10-mile section, and we're planning to wild camp tonight about halfway at a spot that we know very well. I've camped there 3 times. Rich has camped there once before with me. It's Deacon Hill, which is kind of part of the Pegsdon Hills sort of area. It's not far from Pirton, and yeah, it's about halfway on this route. So the views up there are pretty good. We drove past it earlier, it looked quite busy, a lot of people out and about up there, but hopefully it'll be quieter later on. So we've got a few little interesting things to see along the way, bit of history, should be good fun. It's quite warm out today, so sun cream, sun hats, shades, should be fine. Going with the tarp and bivvy setup again. I'm using my new Aricxi, kind of like an off-white, sort of like a tarp tent sort of thing. It's a shaped tarp really, and I think I've got my Outkit Hunker XL bivvy bag with me for tonight. Richard has got his new Pro Action Tiger Paws one-person tent, the tent that I sold him on the last section. He absolutely loves it.
Yeah, gonna get my money's worth out of that.
Definitely. Enough talking, and let's get walking. The track leading down from Walden Hill and westwards across the A6 is also part of an ancient trade route known as Theedway, Old English for highway, during the Saxon period. It may still be traced as fragments of bridleway, footpath, byway, etc. from the Hertfordshire boundary between the Galley and Walden Hills for about 25 miles across Bedfordshire as an alternative Icknield Way route to the upper reaches of the Thames. Degraded fragments of banks and ditches in scrubby trees to the right, separating the bridleway to Walden Hill from the modern housing estate, are remnants of Dray's ditches, one of several dykes crossing the Icknield Way, which may have separated it into tribal territories. On Galley Hill are 2 barrows, one of Neolithic date on the summit of the hill, and one 100 yards to the south, perhaps of Iron Age date. The former barrow contains the chopped up remains of 2 young men, together with pottery of the Windmill Hill type, perhaps from 4000 BC. A later Bronze Age burial was destroyed many years ago. In the 4th century AD, the barrow had been used as a slaughter cemetery for the remains of a number of women and children and a boy. In the 15th century, it was used as the site of a gallows, giving the hill its name, and at the foot of this gibbet, a witchcraft deposit had been buried consisting of a horse's skull and a dice, both now in the possession of Luton Museum. Telegraph Hill was once the site of an early 19th century telegraph station constructed as part of a chain stretching from Great Yarmouth to the Admiralty Building in London. It followed the Icknield Way for much of its route. There is also a telegraph road near another site at Icklingham. Telegraph huts were manned by former seamen no longer fit for active service, who operated a series of shutters on the roof and at the same time kept observation on the next hut about 10 miles away. The system was rendered inactive by fog, and so all-weather heliographic signalling experiments were conducted using shutters to expose a light source. The system was finally dismantled in 1814, 9 years after Napoleon's navy had been effectively destroyed at Trafalgar and was no longer a threat. The deep ruts that climb the ridge here are not prehistoric, but were largely made by wheeled traffic using the easiest route between Luton and Hitchin. back everyone. It's about 6:30 and we've made it to Deacon Hill. As I say, this is probably going to be my 4th time I've wild camped up here, and I'm sort of sat out of the wind in the hollow that Richard used on the last camp I did here with him. It was just a short little video, one of my recent ones. I'll put a little link up here somewhere so you can watch that. Yeah, he camped in this hollow and I camped over there. Because I've got the Aricxi tarp with me tonight, I wanted sort of a longer, kind of flatter bottomed foxhole, as it were, to try and pitch up in. It's the first time using this tarp in the field, as it were. I've only used it in the garden for once. Richard's very kindly given me a recorderlig passion fruit cider, 4%, Swedish, and it's a good cider this. I like these ones. So this is that Aricxi tarp. It's like a thin, almost see-through, like sort of slippery sort of material. I think it's seal nylon, and it's about 400 grams. Came with guy lines, which I've already attached. They're not the lightest guy lines. It's a plane flying over it at the moment, probably Luton Airport, and it's got, I don't know if you can see them, like mini line locks. Really good, and finish sort of cool. It's not Dyneema, but it's not bad. I could always replace that if need be. And then the pegs it comes with these sort of stubby, shorter, what's that, Y-beam, Y-shaped pegs at the profile of them. Little tie-outs on them or whatever already. Fairly lightweight, fairly strong, and you get 2, 4, 6 of those, so it's enough to set it up basically, but to peg out like the middle bits of the tarp you need a few more. So I added just some simple shepherd stake ones, which are quite lightweight. They're a bit longer though, so 10 stakes in all, and you can peg that thing out properly. Now what it's got that I really like about it is it's got like a beak at the front, like a sort of a peak that comes over the front of the door, so it sort of blocks some wind and rain. It almost basically makes it a tarp tent. There's only one way to set it up. You can't set it up for all these different fancy configurations. It is literally one setup and that's it. I wouldn't normally buy a tarp that's that colour. You know, it's a bit loud, but up here it's fine. I think you just wouldn't use a tarp of this colour in like woodland when you're trying to be stealthy. So that's not a problem though. So hill camps is fine. If I was mad enough to try and use a tarp on a beach, which I probably wouldn't, I could use this. Yeah, it's not bad. So yeah, it's a nice little tarp, and it cost me £30 or £31, I think. Anyway, apologies about the auto white balance thing. I still cannot figure out how to sort that out. It is literally doing my head in. It's so annoying. Don't hate on me, it's not my fault. I can't figure it out. If anyone out there's a genius and knows how cameras work, get in the comments and let me know. It's a Huawei Pro 2019 model, this phone. If you know how the camera works on that, let me know. Anyways, we'll get the tarp set up in a little while. I've got tons and tons of space under here though, even though it's a steep-sided foxhole. But there's a nice sort of flat bit in the middle where I put the Tyvek, the silver-coated full-length foam mat, Outkit Hunker XL bivvy on top, and then inside that there's my 3/4 length Climate inflatable mat and Mountain Warehouse Vacation Bug summer bag, built-in bug net. and an X-Bed inflatable pillow. And then that big blue OEX dry bag that's got the rucksack, all the bags. It has got a Sea to Summit silk liner as well, but I thought I'm not going to use that on this one because I'm using a synthetic bag, so it doesn't really matter that much. It's more important if you've got a down bag with you. So the blue dry bag with all that stuff in goes under my head as an extra pillow because I like to have my head and shoulders sort of elevated slightly. I can't lay really flat for some reason. I find like when I sleep on my side, I need sort of a bit of ground clearance. I think I've mentioned it before in videos. And then ciders that I bought for tonight consist of a Magners Rosé Irish cider. I had a few of these already, but I don't think I've actually reviewed one, so we're going to review one tonight and have a look together. It's 4%. And then this is the pièce de résistance, the creme de la menthe, as Del Boy would say. I know it's creme de la creme, okay? It's Del Boy, you've got to quote a bit of Del Boy every now and then. It's the final Lily's cider that I've got of that box of 10, was it I had? 10 or 12? I can't even remember, I drank so many of them. So this one is, I think, the best one. I've had this in a pub before, and it's a rhubarb cider, and it's got sediment at the bottom. It's 4%, and yeah, if this is as good as it tastes in the pub, then this could well get probably like a 9.9 out of 10. I can't give it 10, it's just be stupid, but it's as close to the mythical 10 as you can get. This is hallowed. This it's special. Oh, I can't wait to drink this. It's seriously good. I've saved it till last, and I would easily happily buy a crate of these, and I'd probably end up an alcoholic, but they're so good. Seriously, I know I say that about all ciders, but this is amazing. If it's not, I'm going to be so disappointed, but I'm sure it'll be amazing. Yeah, so I had to play around with this tarp quite a lot, and that stressed me out a little bit, so I'm going to just chill out for a little bit, finish this drink. I might even drink that one as well and just tell you how it went, and then have a look at dinner later on. Yeah, basically nothing fancy again. I'm going to be trying out those adventure food dehydrated meals. Dinner is going to be chili con carne, and dessert is going to be a vanilla dessert, which I can only assume is going to be sort of like a mousse or an angel delight style dessert. Tetley tea. Cheers to Luke's girlfriend Katie for giving me all these teas and coffees. She basically was entitled to a Boris box, and you got loads of teas and coffees in them, and they don't drink any of those, so cheers. Yeah, stove is the Outkick Kraku little mini gas stove. As a backup, in case, I don't know, the gas ran out, or I don't know, the O-ring had perished, which it shouldn't have done. As a backup, I've just got a little BCB Fire Dragon gel fuel stove. So I've got enough fuel between these two stoves probably to last me for like 4 days, maybe I don't know, about a week. Dinner is ready, and I probably put a little bit too much water in this chili con carne, so Richard very kindly lent me a Heinz tomato cup of soup sachet, so I've just put that in it just to sort of thicken it up. And let's see if you can see this. There we go. There's all kinds of stuff in it. Sweet corn, of course chili, like I think red kidney beans, can't remember. Kidney beans with pork and chili sauce.
kidney beans, pineapple sweetened, onion, carrot, leek, parsley, ham, rosemary extract, potato starch, bell pepper, sweet corn. There's a lot of sweet corn in it, so you're going to see all of this. Well, you're not going to see it hopefully, but it's going to come out in my shit definitely. It's going to, I don't know, it's going to look like a crime scene or something. It's going to be awful. And I got a cup of Tetley's. Oh, that's beautiful. The sunset's a little bit disappointing. It's quite cloudy, and it actually looks like it's going to rain as well. The clouds above us look quite threatening indeed. Hopefully you saw them all right. Here we go. It actually tastes a lot better. I tried a bit without it in before, and it was nice, but the tomato adds something to it definitely, so yeah, it's not bad. Not as good as the pasta bolognese though. The sun has set and it's getting quite dark now. Wind's picked up a little bit, it's got chillier. Done myself another tea, this one being PG Tips, and dessert is that vanilla dessert from Adventure Foods. So there's not a lot in it, you don't need a hell of a lot of water. It looks a bit like mashed potatoes if I'm honest, but it doesn't smell like it. It smells really good. The thing with the desserts is you kind of don't really need to sort of see them up and wait for them to rehydrate, I don't think, because they kind of rehydrate as soon as you put the water in and mix them in, really. It's just a case of just mixing it together. So the only thing is you get sort of a lot of dry powder sort of cling to the bottom of the pouch that you have to get out with the spoon. You can see like all the little black dots in it. I'm guessing that's the vanilla. Oh, let's give it a go. Alright, we're still quite powdery. There's like a massive just lump of powder there. It's almost got like a lemon, vanilla and lemon sort of taste to it. Really nice. There's definitely enough water in it. Do you know what? I think that's going to be fine. I'm just going to eat it. That is lovely. Yeah, there's like a lemon and vanilla taste to it. It's nice though, really good. Just they don't quite give you enough. You know, it's like lurking right at the bottom of the pouch. In fact, I don't actually think you're meant to have that hot. I think you have it cold. Yeah, it says add cold water. I've had it hot. It tastes brilliant actually. It probably tastes better hot than it does cold. Anyway, this is going on far too long. Cracked open the Magners Rosé. It's still got that kind of typical Magners taste to it. Yeah, there's the rosé taste, but if you have an original Magners, it just tastes like that, just a bit more florally. And for that reason, I think it tastes stronger than 4%. It tastes more like a 5 or 6%. But it's nice though. As I say, I've had quite a few of these now, so I'm quite acclimatised to the taste. So I'll read the back. Magners Rosé is a blush apple cider crafted with the finest blend of 17 apple varieties harvested from our sun-drenched orchards in the heart of County Tipperary. The result is a juicy apple cider that delivers the same crisp refreshment that Magners is famous for. It's not the best rosé cider I've had, so I just spat everywhere, but it is the most unique one I've had, if that makes sense, because you could drink it if you had a load of rosé ciders lined up and you were blindfolded and there was like, try each one and tell us which one is the Magners Rosé, you'd know it was this one. It's got that really distinctive taste. that Magnus is well known for. So for that reason, excuse me, I'm actually going to give it an 8.1 out of 10. 8.1. I said it wasn't the best, but that's because a lot of them I think score higher than that anyway. It's a good one anyway. Cheers everyone.
It's 11:15. I'm in my bivvy bag. The wind has actually died down and it's really calm up here at the moment. So the final drink of the evening is that Lily's rhubarb cider, 4%. I'm looking forward to this one. Expertly blended crisp Somerset cider and tangy rhubarb. Sweet and full of rhubarb flavour with a tart edge. It has never disappointed. It is one of the nicest tasting ciders I've ever had. And there's a bit of sediment on the bottom as well. Cheers for putting up with me. Right, this one's for you. Cheers. Oh, that smells amazing. On smell alone, it's a 9 out of 10. Here we go. Moment of truth. That is good. It tastes a lot smoother in the pub. This is slightly tangier. It's definitely got a tart kind of edge to it. Tastes like it's slightly fizzier as well. In the pub it's a lot flatter, but still, it's still one of the best rhubarb ciders I've come across. I think it is the best rhubarb cider. It's actually better than Rosie's Pig rhubarb ciders, and they're good, they're amazing, but this is something special. From the barrel in the pub, I'd give this a 9.9. From the bottle, I'd give it a 9.7. The light's dying a bit here, so I have to move that about a little bit. I don't want to blind myself at the same time or make myself look like an albino, but if you can find it in a pub, try it in the pub and then get a bottle and see what you think, if there's a difference. I think there is, but it's minimal, it's marginal. So yeah, 9.9 in the pub, 9.7 from a bottle. It's definitely a winning cider. It's something else. Looks a little bit like carrot juice really, but oh, it tastes way better than that. It's got to be in my top 3 all-time favourite ciders. This was the first Lily cider that I tried and it just hasn't disappointed really. I think we're aiming to get up for around 7:30, but I'll try and capture the sunrise if it's not too cloudy. So anyways, enough yawning, and I'll see you in the morning. Night everyone. Morning all, it's about 7:45 now. I woke up at 5 this morning, went and got the time lapse of the sunrise. It was a bit cloudy, but it was nice. I was warm, I slept really well in here. This is a really good spot, this. It's nice and flat at the bottom of the foxhole, and it's sort of long enough that you can put stuff in and you're not sort of like all curled up and stuff. I'm starting to pack bits away. That's the Ickleford pillow, Outfit Hunker XL bivvy bag,
Mountain Warehouse summer bag. It's my thermal leggings that I've just taken off. Yeah, the Mountain Warehouse vacation bug summer bag. The built-in mesh net, which once that's all zipped up holds in quite a lot of warmth and heat. My mat, which I've deflated, is somewhere. It's just a Climate Static V short pad, so it's like a short summer pad. It's got an inflate valve and a deflate valve, and the inflate valve does take the 18 litre dry pump sack that Climate do, which is good. So I've never had to fill this with my own breath. And if you get the wind just right, you can inflate this pad with two full bags of air. And because there was a breeze last night, it was easy to set it up. Then I've got my little cut down Hayes Outdoors sit mat, kneeling mat. And what I did was with a grommet kit, put a hole and eyelet in there, attached a bit of paracord and a carabiner to it, and that just stops it blowing away. And clip it on or something. And then silver full length foam mat and a bit of Tyvek. That was sleeping setup. Breakfast is going to be this Norwegian Arctic field ration. It's a fruit muesli one. Apparently 1300 calories in total in there. So let's have a look at the contents. These bags you can reseal, by the way, they're pretty cool. We've got a little 30 gram packet of blueberries, sweetened and dried. Nice. Probably add them to the muesli. Then clearly there's been a cock up in a factory, because we've got 2 Colombian freeze-dried instant coffees from Polder Mill. You get a little multivitamin tablet, which I think is quite cool. Big sachet of hot chocolate. I'll probably mix that with a coffee. There's another cock up. There's 2 packets of spearmint chewing gum, so I'm going to give one of them to Richard. I've had mine already. A nice big bar of 60% dark chocolate. Little disinfectant wipe. They're pretty strong, they are. That's the chewing gum in question. I added the sugar and the water purification tablets. I have no idea why, because we're not collecting water from anywhere, but I always think you never know. Cranberry protein bar, 28% protein apparently. There's the main in question, fruit muesli. Massive portions you get in these, so that's probably enough for breakfast on its own. The rest is snacks. More sugar that I added. You get a spoon, bit flimsy, but it works. You get a Jack Link's teriyaki steak bar. I'd say that's more of a mid-morning snack. I might not have that this morning. And then we've got an apple flavoured isotonic energy drink. So, and a little bag to put your rubbish in, which is always useful. So that's breakfast and some snacks. I've only got that amount of water though, so we're going to have to probably not have the apple drink, save that for another time. We'll just have that and a hot drink. I reckon we've got enough for that. It's coming up to 9:30. Had breakfast, packed everything away, and leaving absolutely no trace in this little foxhole. So it's quite steep sided, really good, and you just sort of see a bit of flat grass where I had the bivvy bag down, and straight away just getting down here, the wind is almost non-existent. Right, we're going to be heading down that way, the Icknield Way
runs down there, crosses the road and then runs all the way to Pirton, where there's remains of a Motte and Bailey castle. There's a nice church. There's, I think, remains of a medieval town layout. I think there's like a remains of like a, I think like an old road. I think it's called Lads Orchard Lane or something. Pub, the Motte and Bailey. Lots of cool stuff in Pirton. It's a nice little village. Been there a couple of times. So hopefully we'll try and get some water there. That's about the halfway point between here and Ickleford, the end of this section. And we estimate we've got roughly 4 miles of walking left. So Pirton's our halfway point. So 2 miles there, about 2 miles from there to Ickleford. Should be good. Anyways, we're all ready to go. Richard's ready.
I'm rearing, I'm rocking.
Enough talking. Let's get walking. Knocking Hoe National Nature Reserve is an area of chalk grassland at the north end of the Chilterns. The site is of exceptional importance in supporting large populations of a number of rare plants. The site's grassland includes a wide range of characteristic chalk downland plants such as rock rose, dwarf thistle, clustered bellflower, lady's tresses and hoary plantain. There are also large populations of pasqueflower, fleawort, burnt tip orchid and the very rare spotted cat's ear and moon carrot. How hard was that? Leave no trace. Bedfordshire Hills National Nature Reserve is a fine example of chalk grassland typical of the northern Chilterns. This extensive reserve has a large population of the rare pasqueflower, and several other rare plants are present, including greater pignut and fleawort. There is also a range of characteristic chalk grassland plants such as wild thyme, horseshoe vetch, marjoram and rock rose, and a good show of orchids in summer. Butterflies are a feature of the site, with large numbers of chalk-hill blue, marbled white and grizzled skipper. An interesting feature is the occurrence of springs and a chalk stream at the foot of the valley. Toot Hill, an artificial mound behind St Mary's Church, an Old English lookout post, may be prehistoric but is partially surrounded by a water-filled moat remaining from a 12th century Motte and Bailey castle on its summit. According to legend, the church was intended to be built on the mound, but building efforts were frustrated when the devil moved the foundation stones each night. The ghost of a Norman lady supposedly haunts the site after drowning in the moat when her husband raised the drawbridge as she crossed. Footprints of the original medieval village remain as extensive humps and hollows in the adjoining meadow known as the Berry. Wood Lane, a green lane bounded by ancient hedges, and its eastern continuation, Hanbridge Way, passed through as a parallel section of the historic Icknield Way. The village of Ickleford has some attractive old buildings, including 3 pubs, the Upper and Lower Greens, the Victorian Flint and Slate Primary School, and the partly 12th century church with lich gate and yew trees. In the churchyard is buried the Gypsy King Henry Boswell, who lived through the reigns of the first 3 Georges and was said to have travelled every road in England during his 90 years. So there we are, we're back at my car on the edge of Ickleford, and that's the end of this section of the Icknield Way, part 3, Streatley to Ickleford, 10 miles. It's the end of the video. Cheers again to Richard.
Thank you, brilliant,
For joining us. Yeah, so hopefully with our schedule permitting and new shifts and stuff like that, we can arrange another meet-up and hopefully get the Icknield Way done before the end of 2020. That is the plan. And that would be quite a good achievement considering with what's happened this year and stuff. We won't mention the C word. Yeah. So just want to say a big thank you to everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and yeah, hopefully we'll crack on with part 4 soon, which is going to be a 16 miler. It's going to be a bit of a longer section, that, so we're going to have a think about it, plan it and stuff. Anyways, cheers for watching, take care of yourselves, look after each other and stay safe. I'll see you soon. Bye.